Doesn't it feel great to be alive? So, Chicago Cub baseball, YouTube fans, I have one question for you guys. That one question is, boy, does it feel great to be alive on a Friday morning or a Friday afternoon right here on YouTube as a diehard, passionate Chicago Cubs baseball fan or what? So in today's episode, we are mainly going to talk about three things. We are going to talk about the countdown to 2026 Chicago Cub spring training home opener when they will play host to the Chicago White Sox. Next, guys, we are going to talk about some breaking news on former Chicago Cub World Series champion Anthony Rizzo and his newest job with MLB and baseball, guys. And then last but not least, guys, we are going to take a little preview at the 2026 Chicago Cubs season. And we are also going to talk about the exhibition game at Sloan Park against Team LA, Italy. Okay, but before we get into all of that stuff, guys, just wanted to make you guys a little reminder. If you enjoy this episode, make sure you hit that thumbs up and that like. And if you are not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe down below in the comment section. Also, guys, at the end of this video, I will announce when I will be in spring training in Arizona at the Chicago Cubs spring training complex. So that will be at the end of today's episode. All right, Chicago Cub YouTube baseball fans, I could have easily chosen the background for this segment, but since we are going to talk about the countdown to the Chicago Cubs spring training home opener at Sloan Park against the Chicago White Sox, I thought the background should be a baseball diamond. So that is why we have this in the background. But yes, guys, 3 weeks from today is not just the opening day for MLB spring training baseball, but 3 weeks from today is the home opener for the Chicago Cubs in spring training when they will play host to the crosstown rivals from the south side of the Windy City, the Chicago White Sox. And what's really interesting or unique, I guess you could call it, is that the Cubs and the White Sox will meet 3 times in spring training, and 2 out of the 3 times will be at Sloan Park. There is only 1 time that we will see Cubs White Sox at Camelback Ranch. The other 2 times will be at Sloan Park. But yes, guys, 3 weeks. We are exactly 3 weeks, which is 21 days. We are 21 days away from the 2026 Sloan Park home opener. And believe it or not, guys, it will be the Battle of Chicago, guys. Cubs take on the White Sox. As of right now, I have looked all over the place, and they have said that the game is not going to be televised. But hear me out, guys. Last year, the Cubs televised every game at Sloan Park. I don't think it will be any different this season. But you know what? Let me ask you guys, how awesome is it to know that the 2026 Chicago Cubbies spring training home opener is against the crosstown rival of the Chicago White Sox. It will be the Battle of Chicago to kick off 2026 spring training for the Cubbies. Now, I find that pretty cool and awesome. So, I want to get you guys' input on it. What better way to actually kick off spring training, yet alone at home, than against your crosstown rivals, guys? So, yes, guys, 3 weeks from today, that is 21 days to be exact, we will see not just the opening day for MLB spring training, but it will be the home opener at Sloan Park. It will be White Sox, Cubbies, guys. I do know that tickets are currently on sale for that game and for every single game that will be at Sloan Park. So if you guys have not gotten your Cubs tickets yet, make sure you do, guys, because especially when it is at Sloan Park, they go by fast, guys. I think that in 3 weeks, 21 days to be exact, guys, we are going to have a packed house at Sloan Park for the Battle of Chicago to kick off spring training, guys. But yes, guys, White Sox, Cubs, 21 days away, 3 weeks exactly from today. It all goes down at I believe, 12:05 Arizona time, first pitch, and the Battle of Chicago will kick off spring training. All right, Chicago Cub baseball fans, it is time to do a shout out to 3 former Chicago Cubs who are going to be all 3 of these guys are with new teams, and all 3 of them have made the non-roster invitee for the respective teams for this year's spring training. I want to do the first shout out to former Chicago Cub minor leaguer. He had a little time at the big league level, and that is former Cub prospect and Chicago Cub minor leaguer catcher and infielder P.J. Higgins. Yes, P.J. Higgins, guys, very little time at the big league level with the Chicago Cubs, guys. He didn't have a lot of time, I think, between 2021 and 2022. Towards the end of the year, he was at the big league level, guys. In the minor leagues, P.J. Higgins was with the Cubs in the minor leagues for, believe it or not, 5 years. And in all 5 of those years, he played 4 out of 5 of them in a full season in AAA Iowa. So yes, guys, P.J. Higgins, well known with the Iowa Cubs, guys. But P.J. Higgins, for the second year in a row, is going to be a non-roster invitee to spring training for the Cincinnati Reds. Now, last year, P.J. Higgins kind of had a rough year. He was bouncing around from AA and AAA in the Reds organization and never really got to the big league level. There were people with the Cincinnati Reds farm system and player development that literally thought P.J. Higgins would make it to the big league level with the Cincinnati Reds. Unfortunately, that did not be the case, guys. But P.J. Higgins, in his 6 or 7 years total with the Chicago Cubs, he didn't even get a full year. He had very little at-bats at the big league level. Actually, his MLB regular season at-bats with the Chicago Cubs was under 80. He had a total of 55 MLB at-bats with the Chicago Cubs. And what's really interesting, guys, is, again, he is an infielder and he is a catcher. When he made the big leagues in the regular season, when he made the big leagues in the regular season with the Chicago Cubs as a September call-up, he still wasn't playing every day. the majority, guys, believe it or not, guys, PJ Higgins started a total of 57 games for the Chicago Cubs, but those 57 were spring training. So think about it. Okay, a guy that did not get a high opportunity with the Cubbies started 57 MLB spring training games. So, we wish PJ Higgins the absolute best of luck, guys. And speaking with spring training coming up, I wish him the absolute best when he faces the Chicago Cubs, guys. You know what we say, right? Once you're a Cub, you'll always be a Cub, no matter if it was just your time in the minors or you eventually got to the Windy City. You will always be known and remembered as a member of the Cubs. So congratulations to PJ Higgins. Next is Patrick Wisdom. Now, yes, guys, Patrick Wisdom is back, baby, in the States, guys. The past 2 years, Patrick Wisdom has been in the KBO. Actually, I lied. No, last year. Last year, he was in the KBO, Patrick Wisdom. And he did really well, guys. He was the everyday third baseman. He played every game except one game in the KBO last year. And he is back, but he is with the Seattle Mariners. Yes, guys, former Chicago Cub Patrick Wisdom was given a non-roster invitee to Seattle Mariner camp. So that will be very, very exciting for him, guys. It is his first time back in affiliated ball since being let go on a free agency by the Cubbies. So congratulations to Patrick Wisdom, a guy that tore it up. I mean, this is a guy that was a former #1 overall pick with the Texas Rangers, and then he went downhill. But when he came to the Cubs and he spunked the Cubs in 2021, he lit a fire in them. There was a new side of Patrick Wisdom, and I'm very happy for him. So there you go. And on the final one is Brennen Davis. Now, we all know that name, Brennen Davis, a guy that played 6 seasons, all 6 in the minor leagues with the Cubbies, and last year was in the Yankees organization. Brennen Davis, guys, last year with the Yankees, played the entire season in AAA, and he was actually released in the offseason. It was just before Thanksgiving of last year when the Yankees DFA'd Brennen Davis, guys, and literally a few weeks after the new year, he was picked up by the Seattle Mariners. And this was made last week. Last week, he was added to a non-roster invitee for Mariners camp. So there you go, the 3 former Chicago Cub guys that are with their respective teams and will be non-roster invitees to big league camp. So congratulations to PJ Higgins, Patrick Wisdom, and Brennen Davis, guys. And again, you guys could see those 3 possibly be playing against the Chicago Cubs in the upcoming spring training. All right, Chicago Cub baseball fans, I said I would talk about it, and now it is. By the way, sorry it took that long in the episode to finally get to this, but we're going to talk about 2016 Chicago Cub World Series champion. We're going to also talk about Team Italy's former first baseman in the WBC and the newest MLB analyst for NBC, none other than former Chicago Cub first baseman and possibly former face of the Chicago Cubbies, Anthony Rizzo, guys. It was made the huge news last night that Anthony Rizzo will have a new job in baseball. He is one of 3 MLB analysts to work for NBC, guys. Clayton Kershaw will be one of the others, guys. But really, how cool and awesome is it to see Anthony Rizzo as a analyst with NBC for MLB. So he will work as an NBC MLB analysis, guys. And I really, before we get into like talking about it more, I definitely want to hear your guys' input on this. This is really huge, exciting news when it comes to the Chicago Cubs or even MLB. First and foremost, from everybody in the Chicago Cub Nation, congratulations to Anthony Rizzo, guys. I feel like you know that every single year when it's baseball season, Anthony Rizzo somehow makes the news in one way or another. I mean, I remember last year he was at a New York Yankees game with his wife and daughter, and he was holding his baby drinking a beer while sitting behind home plate. And that was last season at a Yankees game. And now he's going to be a MLB analyst for NBC, because remember, MLB Sunday Night Baseball is no longer on ESPN starting this season. It will go to NBC. Also, guys, there was a rumor that Anthony Rizzo would join Team Italy in the upcoming WBC, because Anthony Rizzo has played 2 times for Team Italy in the WBC, and he has declined the invite as a coach to probably to focus on being a husband, being a father, and then his new job as a MLB analyst with NBC. But really, I want to hear your guys' input on that. What do you guys think of it? Are you guys pumped up for it? You know, maybe in 2026 on Sunday Night Baseball on NBC, we will see a lot of Anthony Rizzo. And, you know, really, who knows? Maybe Anthony Rizzo will be one of the greatest analysts to ever work for MLB and NBC history, even though 2026 is going to be the very first year that MLB Sunday Night Baseball goes to NBC. But you never know. So, but yeah, guys, that's really cool. And I really want to hear what you guys think of it. Maybe you guys, we're going to have to watch Sunday Night Baseball every single week, whether it's Cubs playing or not, just to hear the voice of Anthony Rizzo. I mean, last night I went to bed around 11, and right before I went to bed, I was on Twitter or X, and that's literally how I found out. And I was like, oh my God, like I have to talk about this in tomorrow's episode. So I want to know what you guys think, though, about this. This is really great and cool news. I'm all pumped up for it. I'm all for it. Sign me up to hear Anthony Rizzo call MLB games on NBC. I'm just saying, sign me up for it. I'm all for it. So, but I want to hear what you guys have to say and what your input is on it. So, but congratulations, guys. Former Chicago Cub first baseman and World Series champion Anthony Rizzo will be a MLB analyst for NBC starting in 2026. And remember, that is where Sunday Night Baseball will be on. So just a little FYI. So, all right, guys. I got to go eat lunch, go out to lunch with my mom. So I'm going to stop the episode right here. All right, Cub Nation, sorry that I have to end this episode in my mom's car. That is all I have for you guys on Cubs Baseball with Rod Knipe on YouTube. You all know what to do. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are 3 weeks away, 21 days away to be exact, from 2026 Chicago Cubs spring training baseball. 3 weeks from today, we will kick off 2026 Cubs spring training games when they will play host to the Chicago White Sox at Sloan Park. Whenever I can find out the non-roster invitees for Cubs camp, I will get that on the channel as well. But if there is anything else on the channel you guys want to see more of, maybe me talk a little bit more of, please let me know. My brother Casey, guys, is doing very well. For those of you who are wondering, he's working really hard. He is actually going to be catching a bullpen from Cade Horton tomorrow morning. I got that notification from him earlier today, so that will be really cool. But other than that, actually, before I go, the really cool story is Cade Horton and my brother actually faced off. My brother Casey is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts facing Cade Horton in college baseball. But there's your little fun fact of the day. But other than that, Cub Nation, have a great rest of your Friday, and I will see you all in the next episode. As always, happy Be Love Friday, and go Cubs go.